for us, served in a number of different areas. And to each last coworker, everyone just sings his praises. He was a lifelong learner, something I can relate to. He liked to teach others. He liked to make things better, and he was very committed to his work, again, until his final moment. So it's bittersweet in that regard because this is also a time to celebrate and remember how he lived, not necessarily how he died. And so that's what we intend to do, is recognize the tragedy of the moment, but also celebrate, because we must, for a life well lived, a person that gave it his all, came from humble beginnings, but always showed that grit, that determination, that tenacity, again, from early in his professional career all the way to the end. And this isn't only us here in this sanctuary today that will have heavy hearts, but an entire community. Because when a police officer dies in the line of duty, an entire community will pause in sorrow. Estamos aquí esta mañana estamos en luto, estamos también fuerte en oraciones para nuestro oficial que falleció, el oficial Almendarez, que entregó su carrera, se entregó en su carrera completamente en servicio al público hasta su último suspiro, tratando de proteger a la comunidad. Fue un oficial ejemplar para nosotros, desde su crianza en la parte este del condado hasta su larga trayectoria que tuvo con nosotros. Entonces, una gran pérdida para nosotros, pero no solamente para nosotros, sino también para la comunidad, porque no solamente estamos de luto nosotros, sino toda la comunidad cuando fallece un oficial. Realmente es un héroe. Any questions?
Una pregunta rapidito. La gente quizás quiere saber, en la corte la vez pasada escuchamos de que había otra persona involucrada. ¿Nos puede decir algo? Y también, rapidito también, ¿qué le dice a usted que estos tipos de criminales siguen esperando fianza? ¿Quieren ver si el sistema les da fianza para salir?
Pues tenemos a 3 personas que están presos en este momento. No sé si los investigadores han identificado a alguien más, pero sabemos que habían 3 principales. Sabemos que el sistema de justicia criminal aquí con las fianzas y todo en este momento no es muy eficaz, no es tal vez lo mejor que pueda hacer, y habrá amplio tiempo para realmente seguir viendo cómo podemos mejorar ese sistema, pero por el momento hoy queremos que haya justicia, que las personas sean castigados hasta lo más que se pueda, y pues tenemos confianza que el proceso va a tomarse de cabo y esperamos que todo salga bien. He was just asking about, the question was related to the number of suspects. He heard there may be potentially more. What we know right now is, or at least from my investigators, is that we do have 3 in custody. As you know, all 3 have been charged with capital murder that we believe were actively involved with this. I have not been advised of any additional individuals that may be, have been linked to that particular occurrence, but it's still under investigation, obviously. Also spoke a little bit about the current conditions related to bond conditions and what have you. I've said this before, that we should not have chronic offenders and violent offenders out in the street. I think that the primary focus should always be public safety, and that there are tools and research and data to be able to make sure that those decisions are being made as effectively and as correctly as possible. I always understand that it's an entire criminal justice system, and I don't think it's always effective just to point fingers at one point or another, but I think it's on all of us to come together to see how we could do better and make sure that we do keep those that need to be in jail, that are constantly creating harm on the community, to remain in the community. And we know that, to remain incarcerated until they have their time in court, and that those trials do happen in a timely manner, not years later when the case is weaker and memories fade and things happen. So, and also, we got to continue to really do more on catalytic converters. I know that the state, and talking to Lieutenant Governor Patrick, the state is interested to continuing to review what can be done to strengthen the laws, because right now it seems like we're seeing it way too much in communities across our county. Just the other day after this incident happened, we detained 2 individuals that were caught stealing catalytic converters to come the market's extremely high right now, and so we've got to make sure to see how we could make sure that we're protecting the community.
Sheriff Gonzalez, people are worried for their safety. I'm talking to people, even my loved ones. They're scared to go to the grocery store, like Deputy Almendarez. They're scared to go to the bank. What is your message to them?
We understand their concerns. If it could happen to a Deputy Almendarez, that's an amazing deputy. It could happen to anyone, and I think that's the distinction now. Is that before I think everyone understood that there's crime in the community. It's unfortunately something that's always ever present, but now I think the fear is that people are concerned that it could happen to me, and I think situations like this just kind of reinforce that possibility is there. But I also am optimistic kind of person. Say law enforcement here does a phenomenal job of trying to root out crime in our community. We do need the rest of the system to be effective because we can't have a revolving door of dangerous criminals coming in and out. But we're going to continue to do the best we can to hold the line, to continue to be proactive, to continue to work collaboratively, with all our partners to see what we could do to combat crime in our community. And for us, that's our North Star is public safety. I know it's mine, and we're going to continue to just work hard. I wish there was an easy answer, an easy fix. It's just about putting in the work.
Por último, eso que acaba de decirle, ¿qué le dice a la comunidad?
Sí, pues a la comunidad obviamente tiene temor de crimen en la comunidad y entendemos ese miedo. Nosotros también lo tenemos, lo sentimos, lo vemos cada día. Siempre existe la posibilidad de crimen. La diferencia ahora es que muchas personas piensan que no solamente pasan en otras comunidades, sino que me puede pasar a mí también. Si le puede pasar a un oficial que tiene el entrenamiento y todo, le puede pasar a cualquiera. Entonces tenemos que estar seguros de que seguimos manejando todo en una manera positiva, estratégica, colaborando con todas las otras agencias como lo estamos haciendo, tratar de combatir el crimen, trabajar con las cortes para estar seguro que las personas no entran y salen de la cárcel cuando son personas peligrosas que van a seguir repitiendo esos crímenes. Entonces no hay una solución fácil, sino que se va a llevar mucho trabajo y enfoque y nosotros estamos realmente enfocados en hacer este trabajo.
Algo así, ¿cómo se siente de que se repiten estas tragedias continuamente? Ya van más de 5 oficiales que pierden la vida aquí en el condado a manos de criminales y esto sigue repitiéndose.
Pues es muy preocupante para mí en lo personal, también para nuestra comunidad. Esto no le debe de pasar a un oficial, no porque un oficial es una persona más especial que cualquier otra persona, sino que es un oficial que está sirviendo a la comunidad, que está sacrificando a la comunidad y le puede pasar a los oficiales que nos están protegiendo cada día. Eso no es aceptable. The question was about the feeling towards some of the losses here in our local law enforcement community, and we're set to also bury our sister Jennifer Chavis here with Precinct 7 in the middle of next week. But it's a problem. It's a serious concern not only here but across the nation. It's happening way too often at the start of this year here locally as well as around our state as well. And it's very troubling when we see the loss of life that's occurring. We need to do better. We must do better. Our police officers cannot be assaulted in this way. And so we need to make sure that we're coming together to, again, hold people accountable, make sure we're rooting out crime in our community, that we're working closely with our community partners as well to be effective and to continue to build those relationships, because at the end of the day, we're all in this together. We're part of the community. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Gil. Thank you.
Oh, no problem.